am a rejection conqueror. I have discovered a way to feel confident in uncertainty and to feel motivated to take risks. But I haven't always been this way. How many of you have struggled with rejection? I know I have. Sometimes it feels like it's easier to not even try, not give them the opportunity to reject me, beat them to the punch. The question is, how do we get out of this mentality? I'll start with a story from someone who's inspired me. She is someone who doesn't take no for an answer, not even from others or herself. In 1944, this young, vibrant, playful child was diagnosed with polio, a disease that was plaguing young children. Wilma Rudolph's doctor told her she would never walk again, but her mom told her she would. Exhausted from continuing to feel defeated and telling herself no, she decided to go get physical therapy. With the support of her mom and her 22 siblings, and lots of rehabilitation and excruciating practice, she was able to not only walk, but to run. This powerful story impacted me as a child. But I had to wonder, how did she find the courage to continue? How did she find the courage to start? I was motivated, but I wanted to feel the way that she did. How did she do this? And for me, I didn't know where to start. Wilma had this incredible story as to how she made her way through her journey. And for me, it actually started with something small, trivial, but life-changing. There was this party in high school that everyone was going to be at, and I so badly wanted to go. But I had chores I hadn't done, a track meet coming up, and lots of homework to keep me busy. I didn't even ask my parents because I knew they would tell me no. The next week, all my high school friends were gleaming and laughing about things that happened at this party, and when I asked them to tell me the story, they would say, you just had to be there. It kind of made me feel sad and left out, and my mom noticed. So she asked me, "What's wrong, sweetheart?" And I told her about the party and that I knew that my parents wouldn't let me go, so I just didn't even ask. And she responded, "The answer is always no if you don't ask." That's it. That was my aha moment. How do I know what someone is going to say without having the conversation? I can guess, I can have a hunch, but I will never truly know until I try. This is where my journey of stopping to tell myself no and no longer disqualifying myself before I start. This is where it all began. Now I've developed something called voice to help me work through these problems. Using my voice is a way for me to be encouraged, self-reflect, and feel confident in the decisions that I'm making. So what does VOICE stand for? Vent. Get it out of your system. For me, it's calling family and friends and whoever I can get a listening ear to get that excitement out or tell them all about my nerves so that they can level set me and keep me motivated to keep going. For some people, it might be writing in your journal. It might be playing your favorite video game, going for a run, or reading your favorite book. Whatever is going to get the nervous jitters out of your system. And just keep in mind, venting doesn't always have to be complaining. It can be getting that excited energy out so that you can focus again. Observe your feelings. So observe your feelings. Are you excited? Are you feeling shy? Are you feeling reservations? Take the time to self-reflect. Investigate. Do your research. The internet is a powerful thing. So look it up. Talk to friends, talk to mentors, and find out more about whatever it is. Be sure to clarify the facts. C. So, you know what your feelings are, and now you've investigated, and you know what the facts are. Understand whether you have skewed some of the facts with some assumptions because of your feelings, and understand really what you want to do. Establish. E. What is the worst case scenario and best case scenario? And decide if you want to live with that. So for me, a great example of that is getting hired at my first job. Just like every senior, we are all preparing for this career fair to look for where our life is going to be taken, what journey is next. Vent. I'm talking to my study buddies and my best friend, and I'm nervous. I don't have the GPA that most aerospace companies are looking for. And I felt like I wasn't qualified. So I talked to them about it, and he reminded me, Sydney, you're more than just that number. And he was right. Oh, observe. My feelings of shame, my feelings of feeling inadequate were surrounded by this number. But how much impact does it really have on this application? Because it wasn't that my GPA was terrible, it just wasn't the 3.9 that I thought they were looking for. Investigate. So I did my research. I went to every informational session. I looked up their top products, and then I made sure to ask about their new innovations. And in doing my research, I found that, clarify, the GPA was more of a recommendation versus a requirement. Companies were looking for well-rounded individuals who volunteered, did well in school, and took on leadership roles. That sounds like me. Establish. Worst case scenario, I apply and I don't get the job, and I'm in the same place I am now. Best case scenario is that I get the job, I start my career, and I'm really excited for the next chapter of my life. It was this that made me ready for the next step of going to the career fair. So I'm in line, and it's my turn next. I hand the woman my resume, and I ask her, listen to me before you look. And she's puzzled and says, you have 60 seconds. To this day, I still have no idea what I said, but I remember feeling confident, like I put my best foot forward. And I was proud leaving that conversation. A few days later, I got a call for an interview. I was elated. If it weren't for me using my voice, I never would have been in the place where I could have the job that I have today in a prominent aerospace company as a manager. I wish that I could tell you that using your voice is a foolproof method, but I've had my failures as well. When I was applying for school, I wanted to get into this program, a pre-freshman enrichment program called V.O.I.C.E, Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. That was me. I felt like I was the perfect fit. Vent. I called my friends and family and let them know, I think I know where I want to go, I know what I want to do, and I'm so excited. Observe. I was full of excitement, slight nerves, but I knew that this is the direction I wanted to go in. Investigate. So, let's do research. I researched the school, I researched the program, I looked at the graduates, and they all aligned with my goals and the things that I had done in the past. So I continue to feel confident. Clarify. I clarified that my excitement is supported by what I saw in my research and that this was definitely what I should do. Establish. Worst case scenario, I don't get into this program and I'm in the same place I am now. Best case scenario is that I get to start my journey at this school in a program where I get ahead in classes, meet new people, and I get to explore Atlanta, Georgia. This sounds perfect. So you can only imagine my great disappointment when I received my rejection letter. Not every no is the end of the story though. Vent. I went to my parents upset. I was rejected and I thought that I was a perfect fit. I put my all into this. And my mother recommended, why don't you send a follow-up thank you email and let them know to keep you in mind in future opportunities. Observe. Me? I've just been rejected and you want me to follow up and expose myself to more? It seemed just It didn't seem like something that I wanted to do. It didn't seem to make sense, and I was upset. Investigate. I looked into following up and after a rejection and realized there's a lot of benefits to it. They're keeping you in mind. They're letting you know that you appreciated that they took you in consideration. And those were things that I did want to express. Clarify. I tried my best before and they picked the candidates they wanted, and I let them tell me no, so I could be confident that I did everything that I could. Establish. Worst case scenario had already happened, so sending this follow-up email, honestly, even getting a response would be a best case scenario, so I might as well do it. I sent off the email and tried not to think about it. A few days later, they responded and let me know that another student had decided to go to a different school and that they wanted me to come in their place. I was elated. My family and I celebrated, and it reminded me that even though sometimes they might tell you no, if you try to use your voice again, you still might get another opportunity. And that leads me to my last example, being here today. I am an advocate for young girls to pursue STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. I was accepted into the American Association of the Advancement of Science If-Then Ambassadorship. Our motto is, if she can see it, then she can be it. And that resonated with me. I was so excited to do these things, and I've gotten so many opportunities from it. I was featured in a global magazine, on national television, on national radio, and was honored with a life-size 3D printed statue of myself. And yet, when they asked me to do a TED Talk, I felt like I had nothing to say, that my thoughts were unworthy, and that they would find out that this imposter had deceived them because there was nothing for her to share. Vent. I went to my best friend's house and we jumped for joy. What an exciting moment. I can't believe they asked me, but it was immediately followed by reservations. I wasn't sure what to talk about. What would this look like? Do I get the iconic TEDx picture? Or how do I even celebrate? Observe. My feelings were a roller coaster the entire journey. Should I do it? Should I not? I was so excited, but I was so nervous. What if I don't have anything important to say? Investigate. I have watched more TEDx videos in my life this year than ever before. And I really enjoyed seeing people talking about their passions. And I looked at how they spoke about it. And it really inspired me to continue forward to do my own talk. Clarify. So the fact is that every single one of us is unique. There can be two people at the exact same event at the exact same time who come out with completely different experiences. And that's what's so unique. That is what's valuable, is that no one is going to see through the exact same lens. Therefore, you will always have something important to say, something to share, and you can connect with so many people this way. Establish. Worst case scenario is that no one watches, no one is inspired, and people aren't moved to take the risk to pursue their dream. Best case scenario is that at least one person understands that it's not about having no doubts. It's not about being fearless. It's about being braver than you are scared. It's about using your voice and finding what makes you comfortable to pursue that next step. Because you are brave and you can do it. We just have to realize that and work our way there. So I walk through this. I remember reflecting on a moment that I had with a coding camp called Code with V.O.I.C.E. And I told them, one day I'm gonna have a TEDx talk, and they cheered me on and told me to dream big as I inspired them to do the same. Everything showed that I was capable. People were supporting me and behind me, and that I could do well. So I am so excited to say that I used my voice and I'm here before you today. Imagine how far you'll go when you stop telling yourself no and you stop listening to the no's of others. That takes me back to the story of Wilma Rudolph. After 25 years later, from her doctor telling her she would never walk again, she found herself at the Rome 1960 Olympics, becoming the first American woman to receive 3 gold medals in one Olympic event. Using your voice is not about having no doubts. It's not about having no fears. It's about taking that leap of faith so that you can pursue your dreams and be confident in finding what it is that you want to be or pursue. Use your voice for any sort of choice in your life. It can be big or small. And if you're confused on what direction to go to, use it. Use your voice. If it feels like I've been talking to you this entire time, it's because I am. What is it that you've been thinking about? What is that thing that you've been avoiding? Is it applying to the school or that program? Talking to your crush? Talking to your boss about that promotion? Or even trying that new hobby? Go do the thing, whatever it is. Because if you don't do it, you might regret it. But if you do, make sure you give it your all, use your voice, and give them the possibility to tell you no, because you just might be surprised when they tell you yes. Thank you.